Question number 10, Chris Hipkins.
Much, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Education. Does she stand by her statement with regard to the teaching profession that being unregistered is not the same as being unqualified?
Honourable Hikia Parata.
Mr. Speaker, yes. There are already around 1,200 unregistered, hard-working teachers in the education system adding value. All schools can already employ staff who are not fully registered with the New Zealand Teachers' Council, but who are qualified in their particular area of expertise. Either the member has not done his homework and doesn't know that, or he does know and dismisses the significant contribution that these unregistered yet qualified teachers make.
Supplementary question, Chris Hipkins.
Supplementary to the Minister. What is the purpose of teacher registration?
Honourable Hikia Parata.
Mr. Speaker, it is to codify the requirements for teachers.
Question, Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary question, Chris Hipkins.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What criteria does someone need to meet in order to become a registered teacher other than hold a teaching qualification?
Mr.
Honourable
Speaker,
Hikia Parata.
the New Zealand Teachers' Council holds the registered teachers' criteria.
Point of order, Chris Hipkins.
That didn't in any way address the question. What criteria does someone need to meet in order to become a registered teacher?
Could the member repeat the question to the Minister?
What criteria does someone need to meet in order to become a registered teacher other than hold a teaching qualification?
Honourable Hikia Parata.
Mr. Speaker, I would have to get the detail for the member, but the New Zealand Teachers' Council... There are 12 elements to the registered teachers' criteria. I am unable to list them here, but I am happy if the member would like them to table them.
Order.
Well,
Order,
this
Mr.
is
Speaker.
Order.
Children.
Order.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, Chris Hipkins.
Mr. Speaker, I accept we're probably not going to get very far with this because the Minister doesn't have the information with her. But I do want to raise with you an issue about what's reasonable to expect when a very specific question is asked. The Minister, in her answer yesterday, drew a distinction between unregistered and unqualified teachers. My question today was specific about that. It therefore is not unreasonable for me to expect that she would come to the House prepared to answer questions about teacher registration.
Order. At the end of the day, the member can formulate his supplementary questions as the questioning proceeds, and the member's done that and has done it well. It is then over to the Minister to stand and answer that, and it is quite legitimate for any member in this House with a supplementary to say they do not have that information with them. That is a satisfactory answer. It is a far better answer for any minister to give than attempt to guess the situation and end up giving an incorrect answer to this House.
Okay. Point of order.
Point of order. Chris Hipkins.
Mr. Speaker, I accept your answer, and I won't, raise this any further.
This is a fresh point of order.
What I do want to do is ask you to reflect, Mr. Speaker, on the extent to which, when a very specific question is asked, a minister should be expected to be prepared to answer specific supplementaries on that.
And I've already made that point to the member. The specificity of a primary question is important, and I will do everything I can to ensure that a minister addresses a primary question. A subsequent supplementary question may be very closely related, but if the minister feels that he or she does not have that information at hand to competently answer the question, it is quite legitimate for that minister to say, I don't have that information with me. Supplementary question, Chris Hipkins.
Supplementary. Which of the criteria for teacher registration does she think aren't applicable in the case of those teachers who will be working in charter schools?
Honourable Hikia Parata.
Mr. Speaker, in respect of partnership schools Kurahodua, we are still going through the process, as the member knows, because he sat on the select committee and the detail was fully available to him. Sponsors may propose that a proportion of the teaching staff not be registered as teachers, but that they hold qualifications. And until we complete that process, I will not be able to give specifics about each case.
Point of order, Chris Hipkins.
Mr. Speaker, I wasn't asking about any specific case at all. What I asked her was which of the criteria for teacher registration does she think aren't applicable in the case of charter schools?
And the minister said They are working on those criteria, and until those criteria are finalised, she's not prepared to be specific. Further supplement. Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Millard.
Mr. Speaker, one of the criteria for registration, one of the criterion for registration, is that child abusers are not allowed. People who have child abuse convictions are not allowed to teach in schools.
Can I have the point of order, please?
Well, the question, Mr. Speaker, is surely a minister who is half competent would rule that out.
Order. That's not a satisfactory point of order. Question number 11, Nikki Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order.